Hello friends, Stacy Anfinson here with your Torreport market updates. Today we're going to take a look at metrics for Wake County, North Carolina resale housing listed in TMLS. We're going to go from April, so let's dig into the data and see what we've got. First graph, we've got closed sales by month. A seasonal pattern in our market where typically closings peak in June and they valley in December and January, so that pattern has been repeating. We've got some good news, bad news, good news for you. The good news is the April amount of 958 is well above where we were in January at 421. The bad news, though, is it's down 28% compared to April of last year, and it's down 9% compared to March. So that's a little bit not repeating the seasonal pattern. Typically, this pattern increases each month from January to June. It's got a bell curve, so down in terms of sales. And as we've talked about in numerous other videos, this is not necessarily due to a lack of demand, but it is due to a lack of inventory. So now we're going to talk about prices. Top graph is the median sales price. The bottom graph is the median sales price per square foot. Median sales price of $438,750 for April is down 7.5% compared to April of last year. But what we've seen here is a nice little increase from December to January to February to March to April. And we've also seen that in the PPF. The 222 is down 6% compared to where it was in April, and it's up 4% compared to where it was in January. So once again, these two graphs kind of mimic what we've seen in the market, where house prices have been on a nice upward march since December. Next graph we're going to look at is the number of closed resales where the sales price is original and list price, and kind of to go back in time and to see how strong the resale market was in April of last year. 82% of resales in April last year sold above original list price. Boy, if there wasn't a disconnect between supply and demand back then. And remember, the interest rates were significantly lower back then than they were now. Went all the way down to 10%, which was almost as close as we've been to a normalized market in a long, long time. But now, as the spring market has increased, we went from 10% to 22% to 27% to 34%. So 34%, if you go back in time, is way, way, way above historical norms for this metric. But considering where we were at 82%, it's just kind of amazing how things have changed within a 12-month period. Now, days on market right here, and once again, these are all really well below our historical norms. If you go back to April of last year, 6 days, and now we're at 26 days. And so you're going to see some media reports out there that goes days on market is tripled or increased by 4x. It's still well below our, if you go back 20, 30 years, what this metric has been, it's still well below that. Bottom graph just takes a look at the average days on market between contract and closing date. Still getting these things done within a 30 to 40 day period. Now we've got a graph here. The top graph, we look at average days on market for resale housing with no price change, and the bottom one is average days on market for resale housing with at least one price drop from original. So you're going to have some disagreements between list price, between the listing agent and the seller, and you can see when they're not on the same page in terms of getting those list price correctly, there is a days on market penalty. You can see on top in April it was 10 days, and then down here, if you had at least one price drop, it's 37 days. Historically, both of those are ridiculously low numbers. In prior years, it's consistently, this is about 30 to 60 days, and this is about 60 to 90 days. So once again, all these metrics are influenced by the severe undersupply of resale housing within Wake County. Point your attention to the bottom graph down here. This illustrates this top graph just as a table in terms of days on market and 10-day brackets, and it's the percent of total. 55% of resale listings in April sold within 10 days, came under contract within 10 days. Once again, those are just phenomenal numbers. And if you go back up to the table here, you can see the average sales price to original list price ratio is 102%. So just crazy days on market metrics for our resale listings. Now, once again, we're going to talk about this discrepancy between price change and no price change. The previous graph, we looked at days on the market. Now we're going to look at the sales price to original list price ratio. So if you get that list price correct originally, you're still going to get a little bit above what you have listed. It was 101 in April, but look at where it was back in April of last year. 109%, just crazy to think that people going out there and listing agents doing CMAs to the best of their abilities, and they still missed it by 10%. And that really, once again, it's a severe undersupply of resale listings that we have here. There's a bit of a discount, though, if you do not get that price correct. You can see in January it was 89%, 91, 91. 91 seems to be the median in terms of where we were over this 13-month period. But there's about an 8% discount if you do not get that original list price correct. Last one we're going to look at is the number of price dropping sellers by zip code. So it's kind of crazy. I just presented you all these great metrics about how hot resale listings are in this market and how there's a severe undersupply of resale listings. And you think that this price dropping sellers there wouldn't be anything on this graph, but there is. So to kind of explain to you that this is the shape of the county, and this is obviously Southwest. So 27526 is the Fuquay-Varina zip code, which happens to have a strong new construction component. And so historically what we see in our market is when there is a lot of new construction activity and new construction builders are not able to raise price, or they're in fact lowering prices, resale listings have to react to that as well. And you can see these dark red ones are areas, zip codes where there's a large new construction presence. They actually had to drop their prices in fourth quarter of last year to get their inventory sold, and the resale sellers did not react in a positive way to that. So that's all we've got for now. Appreciate you listening to this. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and I strongly encourage you to subscribe to the Tar Report YouTube channel, and we will see you next time.